life is worth living just because he lives. Ooh, ooh. Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm here. It is the midday connection, baby. Come on in. The water's fine. The water is fine. I want to talk about something here. Economic illiteracy. Economic illiteracy, and I want to see what I could do with this subject here. 1 second. There's a couple people that I did not tag. I think I forgot. Okay. All right. Economic illiteracy, and this is something important to me as it should be to all of you who, there's another person. 1 second. I want to tag this brother here. I'm sorry, y'all. I usually have this already taken care of, but I think I might have signed on too quickly. Okay? All right. Some of y'all are already here. Hey, listen. I'm having an issue because I am noticing, not just on my TV, not just in church, and not just in small circles and social clubs and in the marketplace, or even at home talking with family and friends. I've been noticing the talk of usually the narrative is fear, financial fear, and I really can't understand why we who have been in America all these years still don't understand how the economy works, number one, and number two, capitalism work in America. Capitalism is here. Blessings to you from Ghana, Eagle Man. Capitalism work. It works, even though much of it is used to the benefit of those who are not our color, our kind, but we live among them, and yet we still don't know what to do with it, and it makes no sense because of especially with the history of the advancement of colored people in America, and with the Black Wall Streets that popped up around America. It wasn't just in Tulsa. With the acceptance or the opportunities from the middle class of those who are baby boomers, where the wealth transfer, the great wealth transfers happen in every generation. Good to see you, Tonil. Good afternoon. There's a great wealth transfer that happens after every generation. And the silent generation of the World War II, my grandfather's generation, passed that wealth down to my mom and dad in the 40s, when that baby boomers were still being born, and there was a great economic boom that happened in the 1950s. America was doing really great under President Eisenhower. Okay? In the 1960s and 70s, and that great wealth transfer was happening as those from the World War were getting old, becoming seniors, and some of them were dying off, and they were passing down their wealth to that next generation, the baby boomers, which was my mom and my dad and some of your parents there, okay? My father decided to go into real estate, because he understood the importance, and African Americans became wealthy through real estate. Understand that. That's how we became wealthy, and that's how we were able to build our businesses, and the many black banks survived through that time because of the monies that was coming in through the real estate. Good to see you, Beatrice and Raymond, all right? And then what happened next? And then there was a time where my parents, the baby boomers, it was time for them to pass down that wealth to the next generation, which is my generation, some of your generation, which is Generation X. And though the Generation Xers were born mid-1960s up until, I can't remember where the cutoff season is. Okay? And so we're living off of the wealth and the knowledge of our the former generation, which was the baby boomer generation. All right, so the things that I have, the knowledge that I have, all right, it could be some of the stocks and some of the bonds and some of the real estate that I have, supposedly have passed down to me from the generation above me. Now, what's happening now? My generation, which is Generation X, is getting ready to pass down. Some have already did this wealth to the millennials. Raymond says 1965 to 1979 is the Generation X. So right now, Raymond, we supposed to be passing down our wealth to the millennials, okay? Preparing them for what's to come next and preparing them for Generation Z, their children. Understand? Okay. Now, unfortunately, that's not happening. Why? Because the Generation X did something with that wealth transfer. What did they do? They spent it. And unfortunately, generation before us, some of them did not. They did not pass it down properly like their parents did. There's a lot of problems in that last passing down. There's a lot of problems there. There was y'all needed an oversight. Raymond said, "You said you might be a baby boomer." Yeah, you might be. You might be a baby boomer. I just missed the baby boomer thingy. Okay, there is a miscommunication that happened with the Generation X and the baby boomer. That miscommunication right there caused a problem for generations to come. So the millennials are suffering now. Many of them are going forth because they thinking outside the box. That's why they are leaving y'all's churches, and that's why they are turning over into more of the new age styles and ways of life and new religious awareness and all these other things. They're turning over to that because they're walking away from the teachings of your parents. They're walking away from that. All right, and they feel that this way is the best way, and you don't know what you're talking about, as if we've never been their age and we've never rebelled against our parents as well. But something happened in the passing down. All right, so Generation Xers mismanaged, misplaced, misappropriations of funds and knowledge, and so now what do we have to pass down to the millennials? We don't have anything. We don't have anything. Okay. And then, so what do? We started to lean more on governmental help. We started leaning more on thinking that our jobs are going to last forever, and they did not. And so people started getting pink slips left and right. All right, and so instead of paying attention to what our parents did prior to that, we said, no, we're going to do it this way, and we leaned on one source of income. One stream of income, and that stream was you went to college, you graduated, and you got a job, and that job right there, you thought that was going to work for you like it worked for your parents and grandparents, and it did not work because we started seeing Black Tuesdays and Black Mondays and market crashes of 2007, 2008, and all kind of things, and the housing bubble and then the auto industry failing, and all these things was happening in our generation. We was like, I got babies. The millennials are being raised up. How can I pass it down to them when I'm living in this $400,000 house, knowing I couldn't afford it, but because the bank offered to me was 0% down, man, this is gonna be all right. And then what happened? The payments started doubling. Okay, because we didn't understand the economy, capitalism. So the show is about economic illiteracy. Economic illiteracy. And you don't even know. Triplet, I'm so glad you're here. You don't even know why this is happening to you and why it's happening to your children, why they seem to be running away from your teaching. So I thought I'd tag some of the people who are in business. Triplet is in business. She's into credit repair and things like that. Deanne is here, and she and I. As a matter of fact, Deanne sent me something yesterday on this post. All right, let me show you this post. And we got disgusted with this post. All right, and I'll tell you why. This was the post here. Okay, six figures is only $274 a day. All right, that was the post. Okay, and they told you what you need to do every day. Every day. Okay, in order to make six figures a year. Okay. Now, when she sent me that, I says, yeah, that's about right. And because I understand finance, I already understood what net meant, what gross and net means. Okay, are you with me? Where are you, Dan? I already understand what gross and net meant. When you look at the comments under that post, you see some disparaging things. You see some really silly things. Okay, I decided to be an example of being successful. And yes, David Brock, yes, hang with us. The comments under there were like, I can't do this. You mean tell me what do I sell every day? And this guy didn't even figure in the taxes, and this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't add up, and all kind of things. And I'm looking at all of the sad excuses that was in these comments, and then I decided to break it up by peeing off a few of these people. Okay, I started to pee off these people, and how did I do it? I said, look at the color scheme here. I tagged Deanne in it. I said, look at the color scheme. She saw it. Black folks. It was 99% black folks saying, I can't do it. I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm already tired when I get home. All these things. And most of these people are living above their means. I can guarantee that. Tamara, good to see you. Good to see you. Okay? I guarantee you. High car notes, high rent or mortgage, high utilities, and every week they're going out to buy stuff that they can't afford. And they feel that they need these things. So doing something like what this post said, it says, I can't do it. I can't do it. No, it doesn't make sense. Who does that? People do this every single day. Every single day people are doing it. All right? Many of my friends have been doing it for years. And so I got so upset with these people, and I said, you know what, let me just go over here and just upset them even more. And then they started calling me a racist. Yeah, my people started calling me a racist, okay? So I decided to shut off the music, no piano today, and want to talk to you man to man, man to woman. Black man to black woman, black man to black man, okay, whoever, whatever color you are, I want to talk to you about your problem, my problem with your illiteracy. Listen. We all need money. I don't have a whole lot of money. No. I got enough sense, though. I just taught a millionaire mindset and habits of successful people yesterday. So, Tania, yeah, so we need you here right now. We all need it. And I'm going to tell you what's happening right now, and some of y'all are buying things that you don't even know the structure of the company or what you're buying. You don't understand the structure, how their history. When you understand the history of them, some of you will either continue to support them or you will pull back your dollars. Okay, on and on. But money is a beast of its own. Okay, it's a beast of its own. This is fiat, as y'all know. And fiat doesn't work. Most nations who've used fiat in any world history failed. All right? The fiat doesn't work. Gold and silver and precious metals will always work because God put that in the ground to last forever. The streets will be paved with it. All right? Not this mess. But with this, and because this is what we have right now and is readily available to all of us, and you don't have to go to school in order to get this, understand? College is for people who felt like, college is for people who were raised up in an institution of schooling from kindergarten on up to after high school, and you were taught you need college in order to make it in this world. Understand? To make a certain amount of money. Whatever your dream and desire is, you got to go to college in order to do that. Well, a lot of people went to college, and unfortunately, they got into more of this debt. Understand? And so people were leaving college on 6 figures. So now you may get a job, all right, that may not pay you what you were promised. Okay? In some cases you were promised. And then what happens, so when you start making that money, you will spend most of your life trying to pay back debt, loans, because you went to an institution that just took it because you thought that's what you needed, and you did not need college. Now, I don't down college because I made my life a career in school. I mean, I was in school a long time, all right, in and out of schools, trying to make myself better. And I'm glad that I did go. And yes, I was been paying debt going to schools, all right, until I realized, you know what, I really didn't need that. I wanted that, but I didn't need it, all right. God had to wake me up, says, no, you want college. All right, because I plan to go back, not because I need it, but because I want it. But I'm not going back until I can afford it. You understand? I'm not going back and getting no loans to go to college. No, absolutely not. No, I'm going to go back after I have the money. Now, who does that? Smart, very wise people do this. When two people are pregnant, okay, a man and a woman, this baby's on the way, the smart thing to do is to plan for this kid's, not so much the kid's birth, but to plan for the kid's high school graduation. Do you understand? I was taking a class in insurance, because I was trying to get a license to sell insurance, and the insurance woman was telling us how she paid for cash, her daughter's college education, because when she got pregnant, they went to the bank and opened up started I think it's a 529 plan, something like that. Okay, it's a college fund from the time that kid was born. From the time she found out she was pregnant. All right, now, she kept faithfully putting money in that plan. Now, some of you who are watching saying, I ain't got time. I don't know. I don't trust myself. I don't know if I'm that diligent, okay? I'm that disciplined to continue to do this for all those years. And herein lies the problem. So she put that money in this fund for 18 years. She put that money into that fund. And then she put money in another fund because she figured that one day that this kid will get married. This is what she was telling us. And then what happened? It was the kid graduated from high school. And the mama says, where do you want to go to college? The kid said she put in applications and she was accepted at so many. And she says, okay, whichever one you want. It don't matter to us. Really, Mom? Yeah, it don't matter to us. What are we gonna do? I mean, we gotta go get the FAFSA and the loan. She said, we don't qualify for all that. No. She said, go in there and get my checkbook. go in my purse, get my checkbook. All right. And the woman said, all I did was I wrote a check. I said, how much is it for the year? And she said, I wrote the check. And I gave it to her. I said, go there and pay your tuition. And come back when the next one is due. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why? Because she had been putting that money away for 18 years. And you saying you can't do it? Oh, you're lying to yourself. Their entrance to a successful adulthood does have to be planned from the beginning. There it is. So what black people like to do is try to play catch up. That's what we try to do. We try to play catch up. So when her daughter when the man proposed to her daughter, what did the mom decide to do as a wedding gift? She went and bought them a house. She had been putting that money away. for her children. She says, I will not allow my kid to go to school and be putting all this debt when there's a plan in place. So what happens? In church, we keep talking about storing up treasures for our children's children. You've been hearing this all your life. Your children's children is your grandbabies, right? So your pastor's been preaching this for a long time. But the ones who are preaching this don't have that money for their grandchildren. We don't. Okay? Now, Marcy Washington says, I think we are getting better. Who's getting better? The knowledge is getting better. But having the knowledge and not implementing it makes no sense. Love isn't love till you give it away. So some of my circles have gotten better. But if you polled the average American, do you not understand? If you go to Google right now and find out how many Americans that are poor, that number is going to upset you. How many Americans got money saved away for a rainy day? That number is going to upset you. So we seem to be doing better, but no, we are more knowledgeable what's going on, but we're implementing none of it. Look at your church. Look at your church. Because if we were better, the churches would not have the mortgages that they have. You would have paid it out. How do you have 1,000 members in a church and you still paying on a 20-year mortgage with 1,000 members? No, you're not doing better. It's the appearance of doing better. All right? Right now, what is his name? Byron Allen is fighting. One man, Byron Allen, from Entertainment Productions is the name of his company. He's a very wealthy man. But this very wealthy man is fighting for the civil rights of every African American in America. One man. His fight is with Comcast. You know, the people whose cable box I'm looking right at. And they call it Xfinity, but that's straight Comcast. All right? And he's trying to make sure that a bill, a law 153 years ago is not erased. Okay? If we were better, we would see the fertility of the way we do church in general. There you go, Deanne. That's my whole point. Churches would not be the way they are now. They wouldn't. I think many people are praying for their bills to go away, Mercy. They are praying. And the churches have kept these people in the prayer mode. Pray everything away. All right? So then they leave church and then they join a political party which do the same thing. It keeps them down. It doesn't matter which party, because it really doesn't matter which party, whether it's Democrat or whether it's Republican. All right? The party keeps you down. Okay? So you're surrounded by this, and then you go to work every day, and then you look at your check and say, wait a minute, I know I did overtime. I did more hours, but I'm making less money. Where's all this money coming from? But yet the wealthy make all this money, and they don't even pay taxes. Economic illiteracy. So I look at the African-American media conglomerates. Even on our cable television, we see a BET, all right? Was black-owned. I think they're owned by Viacom right now. I think I did this show a few days, last week I think it was, all right? We look at TV One, which is, I think it's Clio TV. Thank God for the Oprah Winfrey, because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have another one, okay? The OWN network, Aspire TV, I believe that is, who's that? Is that Magic Johnson? Aspire TV. And we have Revolt TV. Okay, this is all us, African Americans. Okay, it's exciting to know that those stations are there, and we are sharing some of the market value of the cable. All right. Unfortunately, we're there, but we're not there in the pocketbook, because Comcast and the negotiations that they make with these black-owned companies, in many cases, in most cases, they don't receive subscription. All right, they don't get subscription fees. These companies, these black companies, they don't get subscription fees. They make their monies on what? Advertising. Small penny. Advertising. Why do you think they want y'all to boycott the word network? Why do they want you to boycott the word network? And look what the whole thing with Bloomer. All right? Where is his money coming from? If his show was that popular they was talking about the largest black network, blah, blah, and it's not black, it's owned by a white man, okay? And Bloomer was one of the top lineups there, okay? So if all that money is going to the word network, Bloomer told y'all that his money is not coming from subscriptions. His money comes from him having to sell something on his show. They are praying and sending above their means at the same time. Yep, they sure are. Yep, they're paying for their prayers in church. Y'all are paying for prayers. Yes, you are. Watch. Come Sunday, if there's a guest preacher especially, when he preach, they'd already collected 3 offerings. When he preach, he going to collect another offering. And he going to tell you all the things that God's going to do for you if you do this. So you praying, but you're paying as well, all right? It's because they're going to tell you you're not supposed to come before the Lord empty-handed. God is a loan shark, okay? So when you don't know how how economics work, you're going to always be below the totem pole. They'll always be able to get over on you. The movie theaters, let's talk about that. When you go into the movie theaters, you buy a ticket for between $9 and $15 is for one ticket. Why is the ticket so high? Why is the movie ticket so high? Number one. Number two, why are the items at the concession stands so high? Good to see Christopher Bryant. Why is the popcorn and the nacho cheese so high? Can anybody tell me why? Can anybody tell me? And remember when we used to go to the movie theaters, you would just hear music before the movie starts, just music playing over the intercom, whatever. And then lights dim, and then they show you movie previews. What happened now? What's going on now? Now what do they show you when you walk into the theater? You're there early for the movie. What are they showing on the screen? Can y'all tell me? Raymond Perry says markup, okay? But why are they marking that popcorn and nuts and pop? Why are they marking it up so high? Raymond Perry. Amber says Bloomer needs the giant advertising companies to spank the behind of the word network, by the way. Of lost revenues. Yeah, I know. See, somebody give you a great deal. I got a great deal. I'm going to put you in front of 10 million people. You can have your own show, blah, blah, blah. So we go in there very excited. Oh, I'm about to get my own show. We're going to excited and never sit down at the table with a good lawyer, a finance man who will tell you, listen, this is a sucker deal. Me being in the music business, I would sit down with people who saying, I'm going to get a record deal. They called me and they decided, and they put this contract in front of me, and I look at the deal and said, that's a sucker deal. Yeah, but they were offering me $20,000 up front. They offered me $50,000 up front. In advancement, if I produce, I says, that's a sucker deal. You're gonna be riding around that old piece of junk car outside for the next 4, 5, 6 years with your record deal, and you won't be able to make no music for nobody else. You won't be able to do this. You won't be. They got you by the cough. I said that's a sucker deal. They gave you $50,000. They did. Okay, that's called recoupment. Recoup. What's a recoup, Brother Jones? I said, yeah, the fact that you asked me that, you a sucker. They saw you coming. That ain't your money. Pay attention. I mean, TLC. You should have sat down with TLC. They could tell you. You should have sat down with MC Hammer. I mean, they could have told you. You should have sat down with Toni Braxton. She could have told you. I mean, sit down with some of these people. All right, in history, and they'll tell you, hey, that's a sucker deal. Run, Forrest, run. All right. Just today, you don't need it. So my niece asked me about writing a book, and she says, what publishing company should I use? I said, none. She said, what about? She started telling me about different companies. I said, for what? I said, well, why? Why are you just giving them money? And she says, because don't we need them? I said, no, I didn't know publishing company. I said, you see this behind my book? It says Sirwalterj Publishing. She said, oh, you own your own publishing company? Yeah. Yeah, I don't need them. No. Well, how much did it cost you to sell your books? Upload, I said, it cost me nothing. Amazon didn't charge me for. I'm helping Amazon. Now I have to pay for the cover, and I have to pay for somebody to look at my bad writing. Okay, something like that. I said, after that's done, I'm good. I published this book. It's mine. But how, Uncle? I said, see, poor baby. Come to my house. Let me sit down with you, and let me show you how it works. Okay? Because apparently you're I ain't gonna say it. Pick up the Freedom Guide for music creators and find out. Come on, Dan Matthew. Come on, Dan Matthew. Pick up the Freedom Guide. Y'all know I always have that handy. It's always over. It's always handy. All right? Pick up the Freedom Guide and find out. Okay? Why is that a sucker deal? And what does recoupment mean? What does it mean? Now, some of you need the money. Some of you need the advancement, depending on distribution, depending on your business plan. Some of you need it. But read the contract and don't do it by yourself. All the glitter ain't gold. People don't understand the value of being independent and maintaining creative control. There it is, Tanil. Creative control. You know who I learned creative control from? He blind and he sang like this and he played like this. And I ain't talking about Stevie Wonder either. That's who I learned creative control from. It goes all the way back. I can't stop loving you. All right. So let me answer my own question, since I'm waiting on Raymond Perry to tell me, why is it that the popcorn is so high? Why is it so high? Because the movie theater don't make any money on the movie. They don't make any money on the movie. They got to make it up. The movie, the production companies, whoever, whether it's Walt Disney or whether it's DreamWorks or whether it's, what's that, Westgate or somebody gate, Heaven, whatever gate, okay, those Tyler Perry movies, okay, whoever the production company is, they need a theater to put the movie in, okay? So you got a movie theater, AMC and all these other places, and so we're going to put it in your theater, all right? Now, we're doing you a favor, because without movies, they ain't coming to your place just to eat popcorn. So we will do you a favor, we'll put it in your theater, and you selling the tickets for $10, we getting $8. Now you see why the popcorn is so high. We getting $8. That's how your subscription, that's how your cable works. Even your local affiliates. Some of you can't even get local channel, let me see, CBS. Those of you who have DirecTV and these other satellites, you can't even get CBS on your cable. You can't. Why? Because they're fighting. Yeah. Yeah, come on, Raymond, like having control over your music masters. And that's it. Ray Charles had control over his music masters. Who else y'all know in American, in music history, who had control over his stuff? I just don't understand why my daughter always do this. Why do my daughter always hit me when I'm on live at around this time? I'm on live. Why I'm gonna need to find out what time she get off. Can y'all go over up the street and get my daughter? Who else y'all know who had creative control? Who had control? Cortez says Prince, John P. Key, Michael Jackson. Yep. And you see how hard they fought, even to the point of losing. Michael had that fight with Sony, and the whole thing with Prince and his losing the name and all this stuff. Them white folk don't play with that. They don't play. They're like, oh no, we can't. This is why Byron is fighting the fight of his and our life. Yep. Just like gas stations don't make much money on the gas, they need you to come in the store and buy. James Brown. Demetris, there's a gas station up the street here in Roseland. All right. They doing work on the pumps. They're doing work on the pumps. They've been doing work on the pumps for it feels like a couple months now. And but I see cars pulling in and out of that pump. I mean, in that gas station, in and out of that gas station. I'm like, what they going in there for? Ain't no gas. They done pulled all of the pumps out of there because they digging in there doing something. That station need to stay open because it ain't all about the gas. They need yeah, they selling them pickles that been sitting there for 3 weeks. Okay? All right, so where am I? All right, so it's all about ownership. Okay. Taylor Swift, the Beatles. And y'all see what happened with the Beatles and Michael Jackson. Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Owning what? And why was it so important to own publishing? Raymond Perry can help us here. What is more valuable to the industry, the record label, and the writer? What is more important? The master, the publishing, okay, the sync, the sheet music, the print, music. I mean, which one is more important? And why does it seem like there's always this battle on this one particular thing? What's worth more? And what will be worth this for years and decades to generations to come? What is worth more? Look at some of these actors who was part of productions from these movies that played in the 1960s and 70s, some in the 80s. Okay, from Sanford and Son to All in the Family, to all these shows. Okay, and some of the actors are still being paid. And then went in syndication, and they still they living off of their royalties. Okay, for all, and some don't get paid at all, not at all, because it's all about the bargaining table. Okay, can somebody tell me the difference between a residual and a royalty? I know this is a test. I'm trying to test you out because I want to see y'all understand financial literacy. Okay, can somebody tell me the difference between a royalty and a residual? Help me out. It gives perpetual future income. Come on, Raymond Perry. Come on to the Perry. Come on. Okay, but what gives perpetual future income? All right, what's the difference between royalty and residual? Can y'all tell me? Pay and get your own publishing, Raymond Perry. What do you mean pay and get your own publishing? Oh, pay? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes. And the technological world we live in right now, there is no reason that I can think of where y'all need to be pulling on these companies to kick off your career and be up under these contracts for so many years when you never needed them. Again, like the schools. You didn't need the colleges and the universities. You thought you did, but you didn't need them. You wanted them. And if you're still going to school today because you think you need them, you don't really need them. You want them unless you want to become a doctor. You can't just learn that on your own. You gotta be bona fide. It's like some of you who are going into ministry and then going out there trying to win the world. Who sent you? Who sent you? All right. Y'all remember the teaching I did in my church? I called it batteries not included. And I showed y'all where Lois Lane and Superman. Lois Lane was falling off of the building, and Superman came down in and grabbed her. And in that one scene, it was the first Superman, I think. And he says, "I got you." And she looked up at him and said, "You got me? Well, who got you?" That's my whole thing with y'all. Okay, well, you out here, when you coming to me, who do you represent? Or who representing you? Who sent you? Who bona fide you? Okay, so in some things you need somebody. You need to be coming in the power of someone. Understand? So you can't be a doctor or a lawyer and not go to school. Okay, because in this industry you needed it. But look at those back in the day, when in the earlier parts of American history, these people were presidents and the Supreme Court. You don't need a law degree to be on the highest court in the land. The prerequisite for being a Supreme Court justice is not even a college education. And many people don't even know that. You don't need it. Now, it would be almost utterly impossible to be one today without a college education, because what we've gone through. But the Constitution states you don't need it. It is not a prerequisite. Royalty is paid because you own all rights, Logan says. Royalty is given to you because not all rights. Not all rights, Logan. It depends on how much you negotiated with. You can have some rights or all the rights, right? Royalties are amounts computed as a percentage of revenue paid for rights, and residuals pertains to non-disclosure agreements. So do actors receive royalties or do they receive residuals? Actors. Do they receive royalties or residuals? Musicians, songwriters, do they receive royalties or residuals? Can somebody help me out there? Okay. Here's the problem I'm seeing here. Y'all are shopping at places and making these places very wealthy and very rich, and you're not even looking at their. Can I tell y'all a secret? Can I tell y'all a secret? Some people call me. I'm not a marketing genius, but let me tell you something. Every time I go live on this show, I'm marketing, and many of you don't know, because the TV has been doing this to y'all forever, and you didn't know it. It's called subliminal. All right. And they tested this in a room where people was watching this show, and just the symbol of Coca-Cola went across the screen just like that. They never said Coca-Cola. The symbol went shh, and they was watching them from a room, from a window, as they were watching this flick, and the symbol went shh, and they watched and they saw several people get up and go to the concession to buy what? Marketing is so important, and the world know how you operates. That's why when you walk into certain stores, they know that I'm getting ready to either upsell to this guy, I'm getting ready to cross sell to this guy, I'm getting ready to downsell to this guy. But before he or she leaves here, he or she gonna be a few dollars lighter in his pocket. So when you walk into McDonald's or Burger King, they say, "May I help you?" You say, "I want number 5." What they getting ready to say next? What they getting ready to say next? Hunt says actors, residual, and artists. Musicians get royalties. Raymond said witchcraft. You stupid. Tanil, subliminal messaging works. Yes, it does. Let me tell you. Every time I do a show, what do I do? So let me tell y'all something. And then sometimes when I'm watching, I'm replaying the show, on YouTube or wherever I put the show. They'll say, "Hey, what? There was a book that went past your face." What did that book say? When you see it again, freeze the screen, and then read it. Oh, okay. And then I'll go in my I'll go to my Amazon account and I'll say, yeah, I know who bought that book. Absolutely. Now, it's a good book, and there's no trick, because I do want y'all to buy the book because I want y'all to enhance your love lives, all right? But I'm always thinking about marketing. Everything I do is about marketing. When I go to church, it's about marketing. It is. This is what rich people think. This is how they operate. When they go to grocery stores, they are always networking. Do you want to drink? Yeah, thank you, Amber. Do you want to drink with that extra fries? Yeah. When you walk into Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's, or anybody, they're going to ask you, hey, for $1 more, supersize. So what are they doing? What's that called? Anybody know what that's called? What's that called? Yeah. Logan. Supersize it. What is that called? And if you say, no, I don't want that, then they do another thing. Okay? They do another thing. And what is that other thing called? I'm doing this. See, when they say, do you want to supersize it? That's this. When you say no, they're going to do this. And then when you say no to that, they do that. What is that, y'all? Can y'all tell me? Thank you, Raymond. So they say, you want to supersize it? Upsell. You say no. They say, do you want a hot apple pie with that thing that you just ordered? That's cross-sell. It doesn't, upsell is more valuable, costs more. Cross-sell has the same value as what you're ordering right now. Downsell is, here's a lollipop. All right. So when y'all walk into these stores, when you walk into a car lot and you want to buy a new car, okay, there's another thing that you didn't know, that these car lots don't make money on the car. Suggestive selling, yes. These car places don't make money on the car. So what do they offer you? This is a class, y'all. This is a class. I'm going to see who's going to get an A today. What do they offer you? Because they're not making. That's why they could lower the price on these cars all the way down to where they're just breaking even. And what they call at cost. You can buy the car at cost. Whatever they cost them, they say, all right, it don't matter. But they're going to really hit you with what? Can y'all tell me what that is? Tell me what it is. Because I know this thing is moving kind of slow. I'm like, is it Petticoat Junction? That's Uncle Joe. He's moving kind of slow at the junction. My sales and marketing came from AT&T, SBC, and Ameritech. Yeah. Ooh, did you say SBC and Ameritech? Oh, my God, Raymond. Yes. Logan said financing. No. Unless that car lot have his own financing. Amber says insurance policies. There it is. Logan, warranties. There it is. Which is why you have to be ready to say no 4 times in a row. But we are so fear displayed. Yep, that's it. That's it. Warranty. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. They don't make any money in the car. So they say, that's a nice car. You know it's going to get rusted. The screws are going to unscrew here. You're gonna need, these tires only last for so long. You're gonna need bumper to bumper for this, and you're gonna this is a manufacturer warranty. After 1 year, that's it. You're gonna need an extended warranty. All right. So what are they doing? The warranty companies pay them to get as many customers as possible. But that car, they ain't making no money on that. They ain't making no money on that. That's why you be silly to pay the ticket price on the cars. When you go in there, I don't never pay no ticket. I'm like, that car cost $15,000. That's what the tickets say. I'm not paying that. Well, that's a great deal. Yeah, but I'm not paying that. Did you pay for that? Did you pay $15,000 for that car? I know you had to mark it up to make some money, but I know good and well you didn't pay that. So I ain't paying it. I ain't paying it. No. Let me look at the blue book value of this car. Ooh, the blue book say this. I mean, so I'm gonna give you some for the markup, no problem, because I know you need to stay in business. But look how much you marked that up. Nah, bruh, I'm out of here. Sir, come here. Here's what we're gonna do. Musicians get residual because they are being paid for a service rendered. And the royalties are paid out for content created, such as songwriting. All right? All right. Shan Graham, you here? You here? Okay? All right. So, I wrote a song 20 years ago. Every time it's played, I get a royalty. Sometimes my royalty is 1 cent. Sometimes it's a few dollars. One time it was $100. Why? Depending on the market. Depending on where it got played. Number 3, depending on what time it got played. The radio stations thought I was stupid because they said, man, we could play all your music in this block right here. Man, boy, we can play as much as we want to. Man, if you just sign it on this dotted line, pay us this so and so, and we can have your music played here, play that. I said, okay, what time is that? They said, oh, about 1 a.m. I said 1 a.m. Huh? Yeah. I said, everybody in the bed, right? Hey, it don't matter. So there's some people up. I said, man, please. ASCAP and BMI will laugh. They laughing. I said, why can't you play my song at 5 p.m., 6 p.m.? Why can't you play around that time? Oh, that's tough. I said, I know it's tough. So you want me to get excited because it's played at 1 a.m. Ain't nobody up. Ain't gonna make no money on that. Play it at 5 o'clock and see what happens. All right. I was telling y'all. I think I was telling y'all a few weeks ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, about. Nah, I'm not gonna say it. Okay. Anyway. We were going to commercial on the Bobby Jones show. It was the McDonald's Quaker Oaks competition in the 1990-91. It was a choir competition. Maybe Raymond Perry can remember those days. And we were at Johnny Coleman's church on 95th Street. You remember? Not 95th, 100 and wherever it is. Okay, and they keep going to commercial. And they were playing the song "My Mind's Made Up." And every time they went to commercial, I heard, ka-ching, 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 my mind's made up. We'll be right back. No turning back. And I kept thinking, either Darius Brooks is getting ready to get paid nicely, or Milton Bronson and Bubba Smith, they're getting ready to get toe off. My mind's made. We'll be right back. All right. Why? Because it was on WGN. Superstation. So it wasn't just airing in Chicago, it was airing around the country. And I didn't know that until I got a phone call the next day from somebody in Mississippi. Walt, I saw you on TV last night. No, you didn't. Yeah, I said, you in Mississippi, man. This was a local thing. No, we had our Comcast on. And there you were, directing that song. I said, really? Yeah. Oh yeah, we were watching our Superstation. I said, what? Yeah, I heard ka-ching. 119th in Ashland. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you. But you weren't supposed to know that. Yeah, you weren't supposed to know that. Okay? So let me get back to my I wrote some notes here for some of y'all. Y'all are buying this chicken from Popeyes. y'all are still waiting in long lines for a chicken that's going to be there forever. Listen, and here's another thing. It's called, there's a timestamp on so many things that are going to still be there for a while. And women fall for this a lot. Limited time, all right? So there's a sense of urgency when you're trying to sell something. I ain't got but 5 books left. Just 5 left. If you buy right now, all right, it's at this price. Okay? Because after tonight, it's gone. It's over. Well, with a physical item, that could possibly be the case. Okay? And Christopher said, yes, had some last night. With a physical item, that could possibly be the case. But my book is also in a digital form. digital don't run out. And you just with no cost, it just prints. You know, you can print it on whatever. You can read it on your reader, your Kindle, your reader. Okay, no. So how do you put a limited time only on a digital product? By the ignorance of the people, you can do that. Absolutely. A sense of urgency is always used on people, and people fall for it all the time. Remember the Ginsu knives back in the 1970s? It slices, it dices, it does this. I mean, it was flying airplanes. The Ginsu knives was doing everything. Hurry up, do it now before this timer goes out. But wait, there's more. All right, urgency. So the chicken sandwich had the same effect. And this is why when I go to these stores, and what I do is I pay attention to their marketing. I don't necessarily buy their product. I pay attention to their marketing scheme. And it's brilliant. When I go to musicals and Broadway productions and things like that, I enjoy the floor show, yes. But you can't take me to those because I'm paying too much attention to the technology, the backstage stuff, the behind the curtain stuff, the stuff that you don't pay no attention to. I'm looking at, is that a Newman U87 mic, Raymond? Is that a Shure 57? You know, that a Sennheiser, okay? I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the mixing board. I'm looking at the acoustics, how they designed the acoustics in the place. I mean, I'm looking at things that you don't pay no attention to. I'm looking at the coaxial cords and all kinds of stuff. I'm looking at the keyboard and the patches that they use. I'm paying attention to all of that stuff while you over there sitting next to me crying because somebody sang something. I mean, that's a nice song, but that key, and why did they decide to go to the bridge first before they went to the second verse? I'm too technical. So sometimes it's difficult to take me to places that has production value like that because I'm always thinking marketing and business and how can I take that and enhance what I'm doing. Illiteracy. Some of you are totally blind to it, and it's the elephant in the room, as if more physical items even will not be swiftly made to meet demand. Come on, digital even more, Deanne says. Amber says, limited time offer is the equivalent to a power press play in sales. Yep. Dr. John Bullock says, every show that I attend, I go to glean and get info. Come on, Dr. John Butler. You think like I do. So Al Copeland started Popeye's Chicken. He was paying attention to Kentucky Fried Chicken. All right? And Kentucky Fried Chicken and Wendy's got a lot going on with each other. All right? And, of course, McDonald's. All these cats was looking over each other's shoulder. And y'all remember watching some of the documentaries that are out there. So Mr. Kroc, Ray Kroc, and the Colonel, and Mr. What's Wendy's name? What's his name? Dave. I think it's Dave. They was working with each other, and as they were stealing from each other. Okay, Mr. Popeyes, Al Copeland was doing the same thing, but he had his eye on Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't think y'all understand that. So in '71, he decided to call his chicken. I think he called it Chicken on the Run. That's what it was called. It was called Chicken on the Run in 1971. And then he was watching a movie that was released in 71, 72 called The French Connection. Gene Hackman. Yeah, anybody ever seen the French Connection? It was before its time. All right? And the character on that movie was called, his name was Popeye Boyle. I think it was Doyle. Popeye Doyle was his name. Had no connection to chicken or fish or meat or food whatsoever. And Al Copeland decided to use Popeyes. But their marketing led you to believe that it was Popeyes, the cartoon, and olive oil and Pluto and all that, okay? but it had nothing to do with Popeyes the cartoon. It was the movie. All right? But see, most people are going for the emotional experience being created by people who calculate every part of the experience, Deanne. And you just described church. Church. Some of you who just left the Codry convention, you got pulled in. I mean, I go too, y'all, but I know how to. Y'all got pulled in. Y'all got pulled in. Okay, so he decided to call it Popeyes. Popeyes Mighty Good Fried Chicken. That's what he called it. All right, and then he changed it to Popeyes Famous Fried Chicken. And then you begin to hear that, love that chicken from Popeyes, okay? I mean, it's a great story. But then, Church's Chicken was struggling. And Popeyes had his eyes on Church's Chicken. Okay? Popeyes had his eyes on Church's Chicken. And in 1988, they offered him $290 million to purchase Church's Chicken, and they bought it. And then, a few years later, in 91, Church's Chicken filed for Chapter 11, bankruptcy. So the Canada bank that gave Popeyes this money to buy Church's tank, which caused Popeyes to tank. The Canada bank said, hey, we own you because you own a company that failed. We own both of you. So the Canada bank acquired both Popeyes and Church's. That's right. But Al Copeland was smart. Because you know what he did? He separated the deal. He separated his secret recipe. Okay? His recipe, that was a separate deal. He kept that separate with the acquisition of Church's Chicken. So the bank didn't own the recipe. They only owned the franchise. Both Popeyes and Church's. It was brilliant. So every year, the bank had to pay Al Copeland $3 million every year to use his recipe. I don't think y'all get any of this. Ownership. Because some things you could lose. And that's why I keep telling people to diversify. You never put everything in one bucket. You should have a portfolio. What people also do not understand, we only have so much energy that we can invest in creating and benefiting from the creation, or invest in, but not both. Y'all preaching. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So, it's crazy. So, you start seeing the name, the AFC, America's famous chicken company. All right. Well, that wasn't Al anymore. That was the Canada's bank. All right. So then, y'all remember Cinnabon? And then Popeyes purchased Cinnabon. Y'all see Cinnabon in a lot of these strip malls, and it started to tank as well. So in 2017, Burger King decided to buy Popeyes for $1.8 billion in 2017. So those of you who are running to Popeyes for the fish sandwich, you're eating Burger Kings and Church's and Cinnabon. Yeah. So you're feeding the monster. Okay. We talked about musicians earlier. Those of you who are musicians, you are church musicians, and you've been sitting on that organ bench. Some of you have been sitting on the organ bench for 30 and 40 years. I have a question to ask you. How is this going to pay off for you? What's going to happen eventually when you can't play anymore? What kind of investment do you have? And you're going to continue to lean on these churches. I know men, it's mostly men musicians, organ players, keyboard players. They're in their 60s, and they're still relying on trying to find a church to play for. Because if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have anything. They have no other stream. None. Nothing. They built nothing but sitting on an organ bench. That used to be me. And I told God, no more. I can't do this no more. If this church shut down, what do I have? I could lose everything, and it happened. I wound up losing everything. Y'all know my story. I lost my car. I lost my house. I had a beautiful home. Obviously, I lost my job. I lost my bank account. And I lost my dignity. Because I didn't build another stream. And I was making good money. All right, but I wasn't putting that money on another stream. Islands in the stream. That is what we are. Yep, then I know someone just like that. I keep trying, but yeah, they won't listen to me. They won't listen. I'm like, brother, you 65 years old, you calling me, is there a gig out there? You 65, and that's all you do is play the organ? You got no other stream? And then I see all this begging on Facebook. You know, just the begging. I mean, everybody needs money. Everybody needs money. All right? And when I need money, I know where I can go to get it. And 99% of the time when I need money, I go and try and make the money. Understand? I go and try and make it. Whether it's through me pushing one of my streams harder, all right? But at least the streams are in place for me to push them so that I can make this money to pay an unexpected debt that might have popped up, or maybe the children. My children are grown, but they still my kids, understand? And if they need, I'm in need, understand? If my daughter calls it Dad, Dad, listen, this is a tough month for me. Can you come through? Can you help me? Heck yeah. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at one of my streams and say, okay, I need to spend 48 hours pushing this stream right here. Push it. All right? Then I can leverage some bills and say, listen, y'all know I pay y'all on time all the time. Wait a week. Sure, Mr. Jones, you've been with us all these years. We can do it. Okay, you can wait a week? No problem. Then I said, hey, baby girl, stop by the house. I got your money. And then what I do, I go online. I'm pushing this thing because it's going to take me a week to receive. So I'm pushing this because some of my streams pay me once a month. Y'all see what's happening? Who thinks like that? People who have business minded. They're business minded. That's the way they think. Because those streams, these are called passive incomes. And a lot of us ignore the passive. We're passive. But we ignore the strength and the power behind passive income. I was doing all these radio shows. There was a brother who sells. He sells classes on how to play gospel piano. Okay, what is his name? Shout with a J. It'll come to me in a minute. Jermaine Griggs. Jermaine Griggs is a young man who I've given thousands of dollars to help me on how to learn internet marketing. He had this wonderful marketing class called the Nitty Gritty Marketing. Okay, and I learned under him. Great young man, millionaire. He was a millionaire at the age of 20, 21, 22. Okay, and he made his money by just selling classes on how to play gospel music. A small niche, a very small niche. Okay, gospel music on piano. And for years, he's still doing it. And of course, it's bigger now. And so I haven't talked to him in a while. And every now and then I go on Facebook, and he and his wife and his children, we're friends on social media. And every now and then I'll hit them up, and they somewhere in Cancun. I'm here in Chicago, freezing my behind off. Okay, And I pay attention to his marketing, and then I use the things that he gave me in his marketing. I use it now to, of course, to sell my book. So I began to study YouTube marketing. And all of the classes, all of the shows I put up on YouTube, and I may have 1.5 million views right now, okay? Which is very small compared to some of my other friends who've got several millions. But 1.5 million, it's okay. Many of you who are watching here ain't got none. So I'm doing all right. All right. And I understand the power of leverage and strategy, and even in search engine optimization, and how to tag your videos would depend on the people who are searching to look for the video. So I said, here's what I said, and this is the wisdom that God has given me. Okay, pushing streams to help meet the needs. Robin, that's it. Okay. So Dan, here's what I did. Dan. Here's what I said in my mind, and I knew it was going to happen. All right, I'm getting ready to give you all a trick. All right. Remember I told you that Jermaine Griggs got this class that he teaches, and he not even teaching. He outsourced these classes. He's somewhere in Cancun, and someone's at the office doing the classes for him, and he just pay them, and then they sell it online, and he's somewhere enjoying his life with his family. I said, one day he gonna pay me. Then that's what I said. I said, one day he gonna pay me for my knowledge. I don't know why and how, but he gonna pay me. And then as I was uploading my, I put my piano down here, and I put my phone here, and I decided to play classical music. Y'all remember that show I did? It was not, I don't know if you call it a show. I call it Piano Moments or something like that. So I sat and I started playing just music. I didn't say nothing. I just played classical music. Y'all remember that? For about 25 minutes. And then I was like, okay, hit the share button. Okay. Then I went on my laptop, opened up YouTube, I uploaded it. Okay? Then, you learning something? I uploaded it. And guess what I did? I put in the tag area how to play gospel piano. You with me? You still with me, Dan? You with me? How to play gospel piano. Learn to play and stuff like that. Piano. So I uploaded it. I went to bed. The next morning I woke up. I went on my channel and I went to play the video and a commercial popped up. Hey, Deanne, whose commercial do you think popped up? Huh? Robin, whose commercial popped up? Huh? Amber, whose commercial popped up? Whose commercial? That Popeye's Chicken campaign is very calculated. The system prey upon an emotional fueled people targeted towards the black community. Yep. With memories of Big Mama's kitchen. Yep. The killings and shootings. The fightings are not happening on the lakefront among the mansions because that is not their demographics. Their demographic is us. These chicken wars are happening in our neighborhoods, in our communities. But yep, emotion. And that's the church. Emotion. Deanne says, yep, there it is. Jermaine Griggs. There was his commercial on my channel. And I said, God, you slick. He said, yeah, remember when you said he gonna pay you one day? Well, he paying you right now. Learn, hear, and play, and learn, see how I blah, blah, blah. He on my channel. Now, when I looked, and then I looked over in my revenue section on YouTube in the back room, and there was the money. There's the money. Where'd that money come from? Jermaine is paying me now to advertise on my show. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Okay? Economic literacy. And the white folks and the wealthy and all the other people are doing this all the time. They look at a competitor and say, not how we can kill the competitor, but what can we do to work with the competitor? And then in walked affiliate marketing. Somebody say affiliate marketing. You got it, Robin? Mm-hmm. Young, good to see it. So what happened to Harold Chicken? Young, that's a good question. That's a good question because he had to close a lot. I think what happened to Harold Chicken is what happened to many of the other mom and pop stores in Chicago. Deanne, yep, that tag did it. All they either had to do was check Comcast demos. Yeah, Mary, Mary Golan. Yeah, Young, that Harold's Chicken. They still here. By the way, Young, I had Harold's the other day on Halsted in 111. They still here. But there's not as many as it used to be. And they're also in Atlanta now. So he ain't dead. He ain't dead. Sometimes you have to downsize. Debt is good for the wise, though, because of credit is good. I'm going to say this and end this because this could go on and on and on and on. I just want to help y'all out. I want y'all to see how there's things happening around you that you have no idea that's happening. And if you would just borrow from the things that are happening, it could better your life. All right? It's going to take me a while to get to where I need to be financially. Yes, it's going to take me a while. But that stuff I dug in the ground and is working slowly, and I go back and visit it every now and then, and then that one is working, that one's working, okay? So they're working while I'm creating new ideas and new streams, all right? So as I'm building my portfolio, okay, then the day is going to come when I can't work anymore, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back into these streams, and I'm going to say, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me, because I built you. I did this. I created you, and you owe me now. It's time for me to relax. I can't work anymore. I can't work anymore. So those of you working on your jobs, every morning getting up early and working and punching that clock, you are putting into a retirement fund for your boss more so than you, because your retirement may not be there when it's time to collect the Social Security or your 401k. If it's on the market, God only knows what's going to happen when it's time for you to retire. You just don't know. So you need to have your own, create your own. All right? Real seed sowing. Yeah, that's real seed sowing. Okay, let me shut this down. My credit report is not that bad. I can walk into any store right now and do okay. I can't buy a Lamborghini, no. I wouldn't want that. All right. But I wanted my credit report just a little higher because there were some things I needed to do. But I understood the power of leverage, and I understood by using debt in order to get that leverage going. Understand? So when you hear debt among poor people, they're like, oh no, why would you want to get in that? Yes, rich people use debt to their advantage because they're trying to use credit to their advantage. In order to get to the credit, they have to get into a debt, and after a while, it levels itself off. And because I understand that, that is the power of leverage. So I knew I wanted to remodel the house. You know, baby girl was coming home to stay for a while. And I said, you know what, I need to build this up. I need to lay some more carpet, buy a new couch. And I just need to do some stuff around here. You know, I got a girl coming over. I got a little girl coming over, and my daughter's picky, like most women. I say that, yeah. And she needs nice things, and you know. So let me do some stuff. So I said, you know, I want a couch. I got the money. I can go and buy that couch right now, and there it is. But I won't have the money. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of going down there to Rent-A-Center, you know, black people, that's what we used to, because I did that. I used to furnish my whole house with all that Rent-A-Center, rent-a-own, rent-this, and you paying 1,000% interest on it, okay? Going out to those places, and then when you don't make the payment, they come and you miss 1 week. Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones, we coming to get our stuff. Ask me. I know how many times they had to come back and get my refrigerator. The black folk, that's what we do. All right, so I said, I got the money to buy this couch. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna leverage this money. So here's what I'm gonna do. Take this money and put it somewhere else. I'm gonna walk into this furniture store, and I'm gonna run my credit. Now my credit points are gonna go down because it's a hard inquiry is gonna happen. I know that it's gonna go down, but like the market, it goes down because one day it's gonna go back up. All right, it's called a correction. Okay, so now I want that couch. I'm not gonna pay cash for it, but I'm gonna negotiate with this guy behind the counter. But before I go into the store, I'm gonna go online and research the store and research their credit process and all this stuff first. So I did. And I went in that store. I says, that's the couch I want. He says, oh, you want to pay it? I says, we're going to go over to your finance room and we're going to run my credit. For a couch, yes. I did that for a couch. Buy and use the no interest compound. Belinda Oliver, there's a smart person who just entered the room. Yep. There it is. There it is. Come on, Belinda, you're on top of that. I says, run my credit. He said, I said, how much is this couch? He says, about $700. I said, okay. All right. I says, run my credit. He said, for $700? I said, no. So he ran it. He did it really fast. I wasn't. Before I could get to tell him what I wanted to do, he ran it, and the company offered me double for the couch. He said, so what do you want to do? I said, I want it. He said, well, they're going to send you a credit card. I said, yeah. Okay. I heard about that. He didn't know I had been at home researching already. He said, they're going to send you a credit card, and then you pay on the card, okay, which is like you're paying on the couch, and you got this money left over. I said, And then I got an email. Ching! My phone was in my pocket. Ching! I said, ooh, I know what that is. You know what that was? That was myfico.com, because I'm registered with them. I always keep an eye on my report. King! I said, oh, I just got hit with a hard inquiry. I took my phone out. I went to MyFICO. There it was. I see you. And that score went, pew! Now that would scare anybody who don't understand how leverage works. It went, pew! I said, ha ha ha. Ha ha. Okay? All right? And then I says, okay, I see what happened here. Now, also what's happening is, you get penalized not just for hard inquiry, but you also get penalized for the history of credit that you have. So what happens is, if you had 10 years of credit, it knocks it down because you got new credit. So new credit is not good all the time, unless you're trying to leverage. So it went down because hard inquiry, then it went down because the history got affected. I said, I don't care. I know how credit works. And so then he said to me, psst, come here. He said, I can offer you, if you pay it off in 6 months, I won't charge you any interest on that couch. I said, why you whispering? you offer this deal to anybody. That's a known deal. I said, no, just give me the card, man. He said, no, they'll mail it to you. I said, okay, all right. So, and sign on the line. My couch is at my house the next day, and then I went online, downloaded the app. Okay, the card came to the house. There it is, and then when the bill came, it say pay a minimum of $28 for this $700 debt that you got into. Minimum $28. And I looked at it and I laughed. I said, yeah, this is how they make the money. You see, because what's going to happen is many of the people are going to pay the $28, and they're going to keep paying that every month. past the 6 months. And guess what happens? Offering no interest is really, it looks beautiful to those who are business smart and wise, who are disciplined enough to pay that thing off. But to others who look at it as, oh, I can just pay $28 a month. That's how they keep you down in bondage. And so, I ain't paying no $28. I'm going to pay $200 now. Next month, I may double that. Or it's gone. All right? No interest. Now, the money's paid. Yep, there you go, Belinda. Interest builds up. Okay? So pay the couch off. Now, guess what happened? So I used the money that I was going to use to pay cash for it. I just put it away. That's all I did. I just put it away. Okay? And it's like I transferred it into a debt. But I borrowed money with no interest. And still got my couch. Okay? And then remember I told you they gave me double what the couch was worth. So now I got this extra credit on the card. What happens to my credit report? Yeah, $28 for 5 years. Damn, Matthew. So what happens to my credit report? Okay, because I'm about to pay that thing off. So what happens to that credit? See, now, when you go to Credit Karma and it tells you if this is what they give you a tool where you could, more credit is going to do this, but over time it's going to do this, all this. You study the tool. All right, so my credit report will go, woo, over time. I got extra credit now to work with, all right? So now if I need something important, that particular card works, you can use that card in many of the Home Depot, home builder stores in Chicago, that card. So snowstorm come, what have you, and I need an electric, one of them sit-down mowers type thing, the shovelers and all that stuff. I got it. Okay, just in case I don't have the money to pay for it. So I got a line of credit stored up, all right, for me if I need it, and paying it every month, raise that score. So this is all about leverage, and this is how the wealthy operate on credit and debt. Okay, grand total $1,680 that you paid for a couch that cost you $700. And that's what we do every day when we buy stuff, y'all. We do this all the time when we buy houses and cars and we go to these rent-a-center places. Money is leaking out of our pockets. So I know this show is long, and many people won't watch it because we're talking about economic illiteracy. But I just thought I'd bring it up because I'm just saddened by some of the decisions that we are making. But folk do the same thing using rent-a-center. Yeah, do the same thing. Where are you talking about? You talking about paying? What are you talking about, Belinda? Explain what you mean. Yeah. Robin said long, but awesome. Thank you, girl. Let me see. How long I've been on here? Y'all know when I touch the screen and it gets dark. All right, yeah, hour and 28 minutes. I got to go. Because Rebecca said, come get me, but I don't have to get her until 6 o'clock. That's 30 minutes from now. And she practically up the street, so I don't mean to be rude. I'm all in y'all's face. I'm poking y'all in the face. My bad. Poker face. Okay. All right. Oh, meaning they rent furniture and do not own it. Yes, Belinda. Yes, that was my earlier point. They rent the furniture and they don't own it. Do these more often, please. We need the reinforcement. Dan, yes, I will. And I usually do this on the whiteboard, but I just thought it's good that we sit down and have a fireside chat on this, because this is really sad, y'all. How you allowing the manipulation to happen. It's your money. I need fast money and I need cash now. H.G. Wentworth, I need cash now. Okay, a lot of those things, yeah. It's a cute song, And that song's going to cost you over a 30-year period. Go to a used furniture. I have a dining room set for $1,200. Fill the house up for under $2,000. Yeah, there you go. So now, will I be doing that with a whole bunch of with all the furniture and stuff? I mean, with trying to redo my house, doing what I just nope. I just wanted to do that because I was trying to build. I was trying to get my credit to a certain point because it started dropping because I was doing other things with my credit. So I wanted to do that to leverage, and so now I've got it sitting over there waiting for me to whatever I want to do with it. All right. Credit cards can be a very tricky thing for people who are not disciplined, because we see all that money in the card and says, okay, I can use this now and then I'll pay it when, and you never do it. You just never do it. So that's why it's a good practice to not carry those cards around. Keep those cards at home somewhere when you go out. Just keep them at home. Don't carry them around in your pocket. keep them at home. Unless you're going out of town or something like that, keep them at home. Don't even, don't do it. Facebook Marketplace. Folks are always getting rid, yeah. Yep, Facebook Marketplace is a good place. I've used that on Facebook Marketplace is a good place. I've used also, of course, your usuals. I haven't done eBay in a while. Craigslist, I bought a lot of great stuff on Craigslist, and yes, some people had some bad experiences and some dangerous things that did happen, especially women. So I don't suggest, y'all, everybody go through Craigslist, but 80% of about 80% of the stuff that I've bought down through the years is Craigslist. This right here, that's Craigslist. that iMac is a Craigslist. All right. And I looked at where it was. It was downtown Chicago. I said, oh yeah, we good. I'm good. But the other one is called OfferUp. OfferUp is another great one. I love OfferUp because it, my laptop. I bought this laptop off of OfferUp, and I'm a little picky. If it say I'm, I'll ask them, hey, where y'all at? Where you going? And they say we're meeting over there on the corner of 5th and Main in the back alley. No, we won't be buying that item. No, we won't be buying that item. That's another great show. Check cashing and factoring and the pros and cons. Ooh, yeah. Check cashing. All right, well, let's get this going. Scout the areas. I have used OfferUp, eBay, etc. Go to Upscale. Yeah, Upscale is another one. I haven't used it, but I've heard about Upscale. I'm good. I ain't trying to buy nothing else. I ain't trying to buy nothing. I might go buy a light bulb or something like that or something, but right now it's all about Amazon. Right now, I ain't going out there in the cold and buying nothing. Amazon has been blessing me greatly. I go to Amazon right now and buy some Long John. It'll be at my door and tomorrow morning. So I'm good. Amazon's been good to me. All right, y'all. Y'all got any questions, comments? Go ahead and put it in the thing below. And we can fight about it after the show. And you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the share button. And subscribe, hit the bell to get more of these things. And I'm going to take a few days off after tomorrow because my grandson baby showers is this weekend. And I'm going to go hang out in the great state of Georgia by way of Atlanta. Hang out with my son and family and enjoy peace and serenity. So y'all won't see me after tomorrow. Well, if you do, I'll be acting crazy on here doing something stupid. Okay, but I probably won't be teaching nothing. All right, until next week sometime. Okay, I'm going to miss y'all too. But I'm going to enjoy the family. Okay, and I hear it's cold there right now. And, but it ain't no colder than what Chicago is right now. It's literally feeling like 15. I said 50. I meant 15. Literally, that's what it feels like. All right. See y'all. Hey, Alexa, say good night to the wealthy people.
Good night. Sleep tight.
She wants y'all to sleep tight. Hey, don't let no bed bugs bite. And don't turn off the light. Keep the light on. Okay? Love y'all. Bye.